Someone says, "How are you managing to co parent? I am struggling with this." Let me first say, I get it. I understand co parenting is not for the weak, okay? It is really not. When you're married, you are functioning with another person and raising a family, and then you get divorced, and all of that changes, or you break up, and all that changes. Here is how I manage the co parenting piece, okay? And what I'm going to tell you to do, okay? Take a realistic look over the past however long of your relationship since you had kids and see what your partner did for your children. What was their role in the household? What was their role in the children's life? How did they parent, even in a marriage, even in a relationship? If you live together, if you didn't live together, just honestly look at it for what it is, okay? And when you get divorced or when you are no longer with that person, it's safe to say they will continue to behave the way they always have. What happens is once we go through a divorce, I think our expectations change. We have a lot of fears. We have a lot of emotional stuff going on, especially as women, about our children because we care about our babies and we want them to be safe and healthy and whole. And there's a lot of other stuff that comes in the picture. What I did that saved me is I focused on me. I focused on what I had control over. This is in the earlier days when I had never, ever been apart from my kids except for going on vacation or going on a weekend trip to speak somewhere, okay? I was not away from my children. And I wasn't alone all the time. So I focused on what I had control over. I don't have control over another human, what they do, what they say, their consistency, their buy-in, how they function. I have no control over anything outside of my home and what I do. So I valued my contribution and how I wanted to show up in my kids' life. And I didn't look at anybody else. I didn't judge anybody else. I just decided, and that's a big thing with co-parenting. You have to know your limits. Now, some people in my life will say, "Myesha, you need to set better boundaries. Um, there are rules and things we agreed to in our divorce decree that don't get honored." And like my kids, they're with me when they want to be with me. If they're here 7 days, they're here 7 days. Like I don't overly enforce that you must leave. Now I have friends that will change the code on their door when it's the weekend or when their kids are supposed to be with their dad. They change the code. Like, you're not coming in my house because it's not my turn. So I never really got there, right? Um, and I made a conscious choice. I started to pray about it and ask God what would be best for me and best for my kids. And I literally stick with that. Some days I may feel it and go after it. And other days I say, it's not even worth it. Look at the person you're in a relationship with, that you've been in a relationship with. Manage your own expectations about what you think they are capable of and what they can do for your children. Own what you can do. Own what's in your control. Decide how you want to spend your energy. Maybe you're the person that says you want everything to be followed the way the divorce decree says. Some people put in there you can't introduce the kids to another woman after a certain period of time. Some have certain parameters with how you need to pick up in a neutral location instead of picking up from the person's house, your ex's house. And you have to decide what kind of life you want to live and how you want to govern this season of your life. I knew I had right now my son is 19, my daughter's turning 18 next week, and then I have a 13-year-old. I knew I have 5 more years with her. I have 8 more years with her. How do I want to spend my time? And how do I want to spend my life? So I did take a lot of, what do you want to call it? I made a lot of concessions. That's just how I chose to govern my life. If I'm going out of town, I'm going to find childcare for my baby to watch her, whether or not her dad picks her up or whether he's with her or not. I just choose not to go there. I take care of what I need to take care of for me, and I move about the cabin freely, and I have enjoyed the extra energy that I might have been putting for someone to do what I want them to do or what they should be doing. And I just decided, nah, I'm going to keep all my energy for me. So how I co-parent is I parent well as a parent. And I have no expectations for anybody else to do anything else. Why? Because children and the care of them is time limited. Like, my son is 19. Now what? My daughter is about to be 18. Now what? Then I have a 13-year-old who'll be 14 this year. You're talking a matter, she'll be driving in 2 years. Okay. And her relationship with her parents will be a bit different because she'll have more independence. If you are struggling with co-parenting right now, I want you to take out a mirror and examine yourself. When I talk to women about this issue, it is always about what the partner is not doing, how they're not showing up, the damage that they're causing, and it's about them. And that's okay if you want to be a police officer or you want to work for the court and you want to make sure everybody is following the rules. That's okay if that's what you want to do in your life. I've learned that grown people are going to be grown and they're going to do what they want to do. I set boundaries for what I allow in my life. And I look at my kids, I have conversations with them, and I choose to govern that relationship accordingly. And it's great when it works out. It's great when we're, team this, when we have an issue, we discuss it. But for the most part, I've been the primary caregiver for my children since they were born. And so it was very natural for us to continue on doing what we have always done and to figure out ways to be a small family and be a different type of family than all of us together and their dad. And it has worked decently for me. I'm not going to say it's worked well because there's things that I haven't experienced that I would love to, right? Like, luckily, I haven't had my weekends to turn up because I wasn't turning up. But I don't know what it's like to have consistent. Every week, I can bank on having these days to myself with nothing to do for another human. I have to create that for myself. And I create that consistency by doing what I want to do when I want to do it and making preparation for the people that are in my home. So I wish I could give you all the happy story. I meet people all the time that do a very good job. I have a couple male friends that have like every other day custody, and I'm like, I don't know how you manage 2 days on, 1 day, 2 days. My kids have friends and they do their schedule. Some of them are high conflict, so they follow the law to the letter because they'll go back to court and they can't wait. So they don't play. Like, if it's somebody's birthday and it's on their weekend, then you don't celebrate the birthday. Like, that's how they do it. And that works for them. The last thing I would say about co-parenting is please do what works for you. Forget what other people are doing. You could even forget everything I said in this video. I'm just giving you perspective of how I have chosen to govern co-parenting up until this point. Okay, that may change a week from now. It may change when I have a new partner in my life. But the important thing for me was, how do I want to leverage my time and my energy? And what rabbits do I want to chase? And to me, the juice wasn't worth the squeeze. So we've functioned and we've governed and we've done the best that we could. And I co-parent to the degree that I need to. And everything else, I trust God for. Okay? I don't point fingers. If there's an issue that comes up with the children that need to be addressed, I address it with my ex-husband and we work together to solve it. But for the most part, I don't look outward. I manage my household and my life for myself. And it has brought me a great deal it's empowered me. And you may let me know in the comments that, Myesha, you better get better with this, because some of my friends are like, I don't understand how you do it. Because I guess I've always had other things that I needed to deal with, and the children wasn't one of those things that I wanted to press. But when I need to set a boundary, I will, and I'll enforce it. And when I decide that I don't want to, I don't. And it has worked up until this point. So if you're struggling, listen to this video. It's just offering you perspective. But at the end of the day, you got to go within. You got to deal with your stuff. It's not about being right. Even though you do have a divorce decree, for those who know, you got to go back and file a motion with the court And you got to, there's work, there's energy, there's money, there's all this you got to do to make grown people be grown people. And they still decide not to. So then what? My question is, do the very best. My thought is, do the very best that you can. Do what you can live with. Do what's sustainable for you. Keep in mind that your children have only a certain period of time. If you are a person with younger kids, this is probably a different discussion because you are setting a precedence for how you govern and you haven't had the experience of being with that child's father for 5 years or 10 years to really know how they move. And I'm saying fathers, it could be mothers. So, and then you don't know how people are when they're divorced, how they act on their own, how they treat your kids, which are their kids, when they're not in your presence. So there's a lot of fears and a lot of things going on. If you have younger kids, I would say go more towards what the law says or what your divorce decree says, because you have a much longer journey. I knew my kids were almost out the house, like they're almost 18. So I can make it 5 years and figure it out. If I had an infant or a newborn or a child that was under 5, yeah, I would have a different set of rules because the journey would be much longer. So that's my POV on co-parenting. It gets easier with time. It gets easier the more you relax, the more you let go, the more you trust that your kids are going to be okay, the more you accept that this is their story. It's not your story. It's their story too. They have their own experience that they're going to have to navigate later on in life. So we're doing the best we can. Okay? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know your experience with co-parenting and what has helped you. And until next time, peace.